What's up, y'all? My name is JR, and for those of you who don't already know, I'm a huge movie and TV nerd. If you're new here, I appreciate you taking the time to check out my channel. I hope you'll consider sticking around and joining the film community I'm trying to build here on YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving my final thoughts on the new FX comedy drama, English Teacher. And we're not going to get too much into spoiler territory on this one, which is kind of a rare thing for me. But my initial thoughts video was one that was non-spoilery, so I figured I would just do the same thing for my final thoughts video on this show. So you guys don't have to worry about anything getting spoiled. You can watch this video all the way through, even if you haven't seen the television show yet. And with that being said, no more wasting time. Let's get into it. The first season of English Teacher was an absolute blast in my opinion. I thought it was hilariously funny, and I also thought that the main cast had amazing chemistry. I thought the 30-minute per episode runtime was the right way to go here because it provided quick stories with a ton of comic relief to address what I think are all real concerns surrounding the modern education system here in America. I thought again that Jordan Alvarez, as an actor, was extremely charismatic, but I also thought that it was Stephanie Koenig that was the real star of this show. I thought her performance here was absolutely fantastic, and she provided a lot of over-the-top, laugh-out-loud moments throughout the season. I thought Sean Patton was also really good in a little bit more subdued kind of comedic role, but I thought it still worked really, really well, along with Enrico Calatoni as the principal, extremely funny, and Carmen Christopher rounding out the main group. Honestly, it felt like FX hired an improv troupe that had been working together for years to star in this show, and that's why the way that the actors played off each other, it felt so seamless, so effortless, and smooth. I also thought the actors playing the kids performed well during the times that they were called upon. Now, I thought again that the small writing here was really, really good. But I think that's because the show was written mostly by Brian Jordan Alvarez and Stephanie Koenig, two of the show's stars. And I've always said to you guys that whenever the stars of the show write their own scripts, what you get is a more natural kind of acting job. And, you know, if it's a situation like, say, for example, Catastrophe on Amazon Prime is kind of the same way, where that series was written by the two stars. And it just seems to work really, really well when that in situations where that can be the case. Now, that being said, I did think that the large writing, the macro writing, if you will, fell a bit short of what I was hoping for, in that the show just kind of ended randomly from a narrative standpoint. I understand that there were 8 episodes and it ended after the 8th episode, so I'm not saying that it ended randomly as it pertains to episode count. I'm saying it just ended kind of randomly, like, you know, with just it went out with a whimper, so to speak, without really tying a bow around any kind of season arc, if you will. And I always tell people, look, normally with shows that involve school, right, shows that are, you know, mainly based in school, the end of the year, or at least the end of the semester, is a really good stopping point, right? It's a way for you to kind of tie a bow on all your storylines. Everybody's kind of leaving school to go home for a Christmas break or a summer break, and that just feels like a really good stopping point. But here, the show just kind of stopped in the midst of the school year on a totally unimportant day, as it pertains to the school calendar. I understood that it was the main character's birthday, but as for the school calendar, it was just another day. And the only thing I can blame it on here is the show's small episode count, you know, as there were only 8 episodes. But I still think the writers could have gotten the show to a better stopping point, 8 episodes or not. Now, overall, I'd give this show a 70% for the season, or a 7.0 if you're thinking IMDb score. This show features a fairly crass comedic style that mimics that of shows like Vice Principals, with a network leash placed around its neck. You know, maybe like a show like Teachers that was on television some years back. Nevertheless, I think the show ended at a point where it still feels fresh. That it didn't really have a chance to get stale because of the 8 episode count. And that makes me think that we may be in for a season 2 here. I think the show did enough to get a season 2, if you just want to ask me my prediction. I also think the show came off as authentic, giving us 8 hilarious episodes that you'll certainly be able to appreciate if you've ever taught school. And even if you haven't, I think you'll at least be able to learn how to laugh at high school and high school kids trying to navigate how their political views and their feelings kind of affect their high school experience these days. But what do you guys think? Have you seen English Teacher yet? If you have, what did you think of the season? Let me know in the comments. And for those of you that might be new to the channel, be sure to like and share this video. If you really like the content, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. You can also now support the channel by leaving a super thanks. If you should be so inclined, I'd really appreciate it. Also, be sure to go and check out themadscreenwriter.com for more television and film reviews and info on my upcoming film projects. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got screenplays to write, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.